Hey, what is up, YouTube? My name is Mr. Kyle Cohen. I'm a 4th grade teacher in Cleveland, Ohio, and with 2021 coming to a close, I wanted to take this opportunity to sit down and reflect on all that this year was with all of you. As educators, we are going through more now than we probably ever have before. But with that being said, I want to focus on not just the challenges that 2021 presented in the field of education, but some of the positives that also came out of this school year. So grab yourself a coffee, grab yourself a tea, a snack, and let's reflect on 2021. One of the biggest positives that came out of 2021 for me is the fact that it is so important to teach and lead in a school community that is built on positivity. At the end of the day, I am in this work to hopefully do everything I can to ensure that all students in this country have a high quality education, and I believe that the folks that I work with truly believe in that. I feel so lucky to show up at work each and every day working with the people that I am working with, the students and the families that I am supporting. It is so important to find this level of community, and 2021 really reminded me of the importance of finding a strong culture and a strong school and a strong community and a strong family to work and lead alongside. It is so important and so powerful when all of that comes together. Now, with that being said, one of the greatest challenges my school and all schools across the country faced this year is the fact that we are working in a national labor shortage. We're working at a time where we cannot get substitute teachers, and we constantly have teachers who are out for all of the regular reasons, right? Like having a dentist appointment or needing to take your child to the pediatrician or needing to stay home because you're sick. Now we have the added layer of quarantining and testing positive for the virus and all of those things. And the fact that we cannot get substitute teachers to cover when teachers are out is such a problem, and nothing can impact morale or can shake a school culture quite like not having subs. If a teacher is out, we need to cover. We need to split those students up into other classes. And doing that day in and day out is exhausting. Now, while that was a challenge, the positive is the fact that we were actually able to be in school. I don't know about you, but there is nothing quite like being a teacher in school with students. And we learned that in 2020 when we were forced to teach online, and that was a challenge. Getting 4th graders fired up about learning from behind a screen. 2021 served as a reminder for how lucky I truly am to be able to educate students in person, because I know what the opposite looks like, and I'm grateful for every day I'm able to have students in my classroom. While having students in person is definitely ideal when it comes to their education, it also presents so many challenges when trying to educate them in an active pandemic. And if I reflect back from January of 2021 until just this past Friday, the amount of times we needed to shift what we were doing in response to the pandemic, I can't even wrap my head around them. From hybrid, which is like half students online, half students in person, all students remote. We had masking shifts where like all students were required to wear masks. Then masks were optional. And then we had specific distancing requirements when it comes to like maintaining 6 feet at all times, to maintaining 3 feet at all times, to no distancing, sharing materials, not sharing materials. Students can sit on the carpet, then they can't sit on the carpet. Flexible seating's okay, then it's not okay. The constant shifting that took place as a response to what was going on in our community, I don't even have the words. Although we needed to constantly shift and adapt and make adjustments to what the day-to-day looked like, my students and kids in general demonstrated so much resilience in 2021 that it still, to this day, blows my mind. It didn't matter what was going on. It didn't matter what the day-to-day looked like. If I showed up prepared and positive and energetic, my students, they would adapt. And 2021 reminded me of that. Kids are amazing. My students and kids in this country are phenomenal. It's the adults, and obviously I'm generalizing here, not every single student is able to show up in a space that positions them to be excited to learn, but overall, kids they're fired up about being with you. And 2021 served as a reminder that the adults are the people who have so much work to do in this country in order to provide our students with that education that they deserve. 2021 absolutely showed us how resilient and incredible students are, but it also put a spotlight on where they stand when it comes to their academics, where they stand in regards to their social and emotional well-being, where they stand in regards to their mental health. We were able to see firsthand the results of the pandemic on our students, how the overall pandemic impacted them. And I don't know about you, I don't know about your students and your particular experience, but my students, they're facing some challenges. And the unfortunate reality is that we educators are expected to get them back to where we were in 2019. Seriously, we are currently operating at a time where we are expected in January of 2022 to be in the same place our students were in January of 2020 or in January of 2019. Those standards have not changed. Those expectations have not changed. Those standardized tests that they're expected to pass have not changed. We have almost forgotten the fact that these kids have been going to school in a pandemic, that so many students were not even in school for months. And 2020, in the spring of 2021, it presented the opportunity to slow down, to focus on students and what they need socially, emotionally, to focus more on social emotional learning, to focus more on getting away from the test. Actually, standardized tests weren't binding. Third grade reading guarantee, for example, in the state of Ohio, if students do not pass a test in the third grade, they're being retained until they're able to pass that test. That's not how things were last school year. In the spring of 2021, if students did not pass a standardized test, that had no repercussions on their academics. We were able to slow things down. Teachers were able to actually be creative and take on all of these projects that excite them, that are there for students. But now we're back to the same pacing guides that we had pre-pandemic. How? How is that even possible? How can we have the same expectations? What we currently are putting students through just to get back to how things used to be, I don't understand it. I don't understand how it's fair. I don't understand how it's equitable. And it's a reminder for the amount of work that we need to do in this country to provide all students with an education that they deserve. 2021 certainly had its fair share of challenges, but there were also so many incredible things that came out of the year. I cannot wait to embark on 2022 to continue these conversations for how we can reimagine our schools in order to provide all students in this country with the highest quality education. Go ahead, leave a comment down below sharing your reflections when it comes to all things 2021. What were some of the positives? What were some of the challenges? I cannot wait to read them. I'm also just reminded of how grateful I am for all of you who followed along in my journey throughout this past year. It has been a ride, and so many of you have been such strong supporters of me and this YouTube channel and my classroom, from donating to my Amazon wish list to subscribing to this YouTube channel. Just thank you. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to see where 2022 takes all of us, and I am so grateful to have you along for the ride. I hope if you are a teacher on winter break that you are taking this time for yourself. You have certainly earned it. Cannot wait to show up in 2022 with all of you for our students. Again, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the new year.